Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This time I'm going to demonstrate to you how we use lessons. So I'm going to log in as teacher. Okay, so I'm now logged into our learning management system. So in your dashboard here, I'm going to use here LMS training. Okay, I'm currently inside the LMS training. By the way, some of you might notice that when you open your LMS, you'll be seeing here, or you normally see the different menus, okay, on this side, such as your course sections, participants, badges, and others. Now you could minimize this by selecting this icon. You click this one, it automatically hides the menu, but you could still access it by going or selecting the items here. Okay, but you have a window or canvas that you could use here. Okay. Now let's say I would like to discuss something. Okay. In our previous videos, I have shared to you how we could upload resources. So let's say a PowerPoint. But in most cases, it's not just uploading resources like PowerPoint and then giving it to the students. There should be an interaction between the student and then the lesson that you have prepared. Okay, so here I'm going to create a lesson. So to start with, let me show first this PowerPoint presentation. So in this PowerPoint, you're going to see Unit 1, Introduction to Computer. So the flow of the PowerPoint is like this. So if this is the main topic, and then the L1 here are the different categories or topics or subtopics found in the Unit 1. So the flow of the lesson is like this. So we will be discussing about defining a computer. After that, there will be a question that will be asked. And then if in case the student had, let's say, answered it correctly, we will move to the history of computer, which is lesson 2. Okay, but if the student, if we go back to this line here, if the or this section, if the student answered it wrong, what happened is that we're going to provide an intervention, let's say a video or any resource material. After that, we're going to give again a assessment to the student. If he or she passes, the student will now move to the second lesson. Otherwise, if the student, upon answering here, lesson check 2, let's say the answer is incorrect, the student will go back again to our intervention. After he or she has finished viewing the intervention, the student will take again a quiz. After that, if it's correct already, it moves to the next lesson. Okay? So there are several guides that you're going to see here. So let's say, for example, for Unit 1, I'll be calling this as LO or Level 0. And then the topics will be called Level 1. The knowledge check, meaning questions 1, will be Level 2. The intervention will be Level 3. This one here, another set of questions will be Level 4. And lastly, if we end the topic, that will be Level 5. So, but it still depends on how you would design your course here. Okay, so this is one approach that we could use. So, why am I saying this? So, let's say, for example, you'd like to discuss something. I have here history of computer. And then, um, normally we just upload this to our learning management system. Okay, so the student will just read with sometimes they will not bother reading this one. Okay, so it would be best that as they go with the different topics here, they could sort of do several assessment, and that is through the use of lessons. So this is how it works. So let's go back here. Okay, so first is we have the topic, and then we're going to define a computer. Then there will be an assessment. If the student pass, it will move to the next lesson. If the student fail, it will go to an assessment or intervention, then another assessment. If he or she passes the second assessment, will move to the second topic. Otherwise, the student will go back to the intervention section. Okay, so let me simulate it for you. So check my account. Okay, so let me click on this one here, history of computer, and then I'm going to have it in preview mode. So LO, which is level 0, which is our topic, indicates the objectives of the lesson that you are going to discuss. So let's say, for example, these are the different objectives for this module. Define a computer, enumerate and discuss the different components of of a computer system, list down the two main categories of a computer, and so on. After that, we'll move to the next slide. Okay, so the next topic here is defining a computer. So let's go back. So click next. Okay, so this is now level 1, which is defining a computer. So the student will read, so a computer is a machine that manipulates data according to a list of instructions. A computer is a device capable of performing computations and making logical decisions at speed millions or even billion times faster than human beings can. So we have here a definition of a computer. After that, we move to the next topic. Next. Now we come across now a sort of an assessment. Okay, so a computer is a mechanical device, true or false. So let's say the student, let's say did not select the correct answer. So the correct answer here is false. But let's say the student select true, submit. Okay, so the system will give us your answer is true, response sorry, wrong answer. Okay, so since the correct answer is false. If we click continue here, what will happen is that it will now go to an intervention section. So if we go back to our, again, PowerPoint, so the student did not pass this. So we're going to give them an intervention. Okay, so the intervention is a video that I got from the internet. Okay, so the student will watch this one. After that, we'll proceed again with the second assessment. Okay, so what do you call an electronic device that manipulates data? So the correct answer here is computer. So let's say, again, the student did not select the correct answer. So I'm going to select here PC, for example, submit. Here, you're going to see that the student did not get the correct answer. Please try again. Continue. Okay, and it will go back again to our assessment. Okay, to our intervention rather. And then let's continue with L4. Let's try to test again. Since the correct answer here is computer, now if the student select this one, it will move already to our second topic, which is history of computers. So submit. Okay, so correct. Very good. That's the response. If we click continue, it moves now to the history of computer. Okay, so there is sort of a mastery between one subunit to the other. Okay, so the student will again read this one, click next, and then, for example, in my case, the student needs to go over all of the topics here and then go to different assessments and then intervention if in case they were not able to answer this until they reach the end of the lesson. Okay, so this is one approach that we could use to ensure that our students have mastery for the lessons that we are giving them. So if we go back to this one, click end. So it means that we have finished. So congratulations, this is the end of the lesson. You have reached the end of the lesson. And then if in case the student, since there are several questions, you could view the grades here. But sometimes it's up to you whether this is a graded item or not. Okay, so I'm going to show to you how this works. So, but before that, please look at our guide here. Okay, so I have placed here level 0, level 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So it's up to you to decide whether it's up to level 3 or level 6 if you still like to give further assessment to your students. Okay, so let's now build up the example. Let's now go to our course again. Okay, we're going to use here our course. Okay, this one here. So please make sure that you turn editing on. Click on the gear icon and then select turn editing on. Okay, now, so first thing that we have to do is to build up our course. Okay, so I'm going to place our course here. For the purpose of reference, you could, if you have, let's say, a PowerPoint, for example, this one, you could have the PowerPoint uploaded, or if not, you can just create the lesson already. Okay, so in this case, let's create the lesson. So we click here, add an activity or resource. We look for, where's that? Okay, lesson. Okay, this is the object that we need. So lesson here, then click add. So the first thing that we have to do is to give the lesson a name. So let's give it History of Computer 101. And then here will be the description. Now, like I mentioned before, let's say we go back to our, where's that? PowerPoint. So this is the topic, and then here inside the topic we're going to have the objectives. Okay, so this is History 101. Say History 101. We provide here description. Now we scroll down. Let's go and check. So for appearance, uh, progress bar is set to no, display menu is set to no. Okay, and then availability is sort of when this particular lesson will be available to our students. Okay, if in case there will be a time limit, you could enable this one. Flow control. Okay, so if you like to allow the students to review and then provide options to try again, so let's leave it as the default. Grade here. Okay, so the maximum grade that we could have is 100. Well, it's up to you whether this will be a graded activity or not. Okay. Now, I would like you to focus on retake allowed. Okay. Since there will be instances that the students would like to retake the quiz or retake the lesson, let's set this to yes. Okay. And then again, don't forget activity completion. Show activity as completed when conditions are met. So we have here several options. So right now, we could here select the first one. Student must view the activity as complete. And then you could also have an option to the student must receive a grade here, but we will leave this one unchecked. Student must reach the end of the lesson. So we need to have this one to ensure that they have gone over the lesson that you have prepared. And then this is also a good thing. Students must do an activity for at least number of minutes. Okay, so if you click this one, let's say the students will be required to go over your lesson for the next 15 minutes. Okay, but it's optional here. And then save and return to course. So we just created the Computer 101 lesson. So the next thing to do is now we will be building up the course. Okay, so here we're going to have our level 0, which is Introduction to Computer. Take note, this these are your guides. Okay, we will be including this in our codes. Okay, into our lesson. Okay, so once you have created the shell, so you'll be seeing here preview. If you click here preview, okay, you will not see anything because we have not yet created the lesson. Okay, so edit. Okay, so under edit, you'll be asked, what would you like to do first? So since we would like to first create a content page that will display us the objective, so we click on add a content page here. Okay, so the content page is a section wherein we can add the, let's say, the description of the course, or if there is a PowerPoint, or if there's an image, we could use the content page. So first thing is that if we go back to our PowerPoint here, this is our unit 1, which is Introduction to Computer. Now, since we have here a guide, which is level 0, we're going to include level 0 here, or L0. So that would be something like this. L0, let's say unit 1, intro, say just type here introduction to computer. Okay, that's it. And then after that, here are, you're going to type here the objectives of the module. At the end of the module, the students, sorry, are expected to, okay, so have here objective 1, 2 is objective 2, and so on. Okay, so it's up to you to fill this one up. Next thing is that you just take this one here, arrange content buttons horizontally. This will have to be checked, and uncheck this one here. Okay. Next is, so after we viewed this, so what comes next? We would like to see already defining a computer. So in this section, that term here is that we click here next. Next will be the name of the button that the user will press in order to move to the next lesson. Okay? Since we click next and then we need to jump to another slide. So we have not created that one yet. So for the meantime, let's set this as this page. Save it. So once we save the page, then we have our first item. So we go back here. So we have our level 0 here. So let's go now to the next item, which is L1. So define a computer. So let me copy this one here. Okay. Now we're going to add again a content page. So click on this item. This is the action here. And then add a content page. Now this time, this is level 1. Level 1. And then that is the topic. So in this particular item, I have prepared already, since let's go here. So I have this PowerPoint slide. I got it from the net. And then let's make this as the first slide. Okay. So you can, if you're in Windows, you could use your snipping tool to cut the image and then upload it to our learning management system. So I already cropped an image. So what I need to do here is to add the image. So click on this icon, insert an image, and then browse, choose file, and then I have here what is computer. Okay, this one. Click open, and then upload this file. Okay, so let's just wait for a while, and then tick this description is not necessary, and then save the image. So what happened is that we already have here the first image. Now uncheck this. Okay, and then once the student viewed this lesson, so what's next? The next thing is we will move already to the knowledge check, so which is L2. So here, let's type here next again. this will be the button name, okay? So right now, we don't have that page for our checking, so we leave it like this. Save the page. Okay, so I have here 2 pages already. So if you recall, on level 0, once the student had viewed the level 0, it will move already to level 1. So let's update the link to this page by clicking on this gear. After that, scroll down. Now, when the user click the next button, it will jump already to, where's that? Level 1, define a computer, and then press save page. Okay, so this one here is now linked to this page content. Okay, if we go to preview, okay, so this is your first item. These are your objectives. This is the text. Okay, okay, the text. If we click next, it will move now to our second content page, which is level 1, which is definition of a computer. Okay, so if we click next again, so what will happen is that we will now have our assessment, which is level 2. Okay, so let's copy this one here. Okay, copy, and then let's add our assessment. So to go back, click edit, and then here we're going to create now a question page. So you have different options for your question page. You can have an essay, a matching type, multi-choice, numerical values, short answer, true or false. So in this case, let's try true or false first. Add a question page. Now let's give it a title. So I'm currently at level 2 already. So let's type here L2, and then the define a computer knowledge check 1. Okay, so that will be my guide. And then this will be where you're going to have your question. So let's type here, what can we type? Computer is a mechanical device, for example. So the correct answer here is false. Okay, if the user types it false, very good. Okay, otherwise, if the answer is true, the response would be sorry, try again. Okay, for example, that. Now, if the user selects false, which is the correct answer, he or she will be given a grade of 1, and then it will jump to the next slide. So the next slide here, or the next object, is that if this is correct, we'll move to the history of computer. We don't have that one yet. But if in case the user is, let's say, incorrect, it will move to the intervention. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, and then save the page. Right now, we have not linked the pages yet. So we have not created the page yet. So di pa natin na-link. So here, let's create first our page content. So let's say the student had typed or selected the correct answer. So it will move now back to level 1, history of computer. So let's copy this. Let's type here level 1, which is history of computer. Okay. Now I already have some files. I just need to upload it. So again, I have this picture. Insert this one, and then I'll be uploading the history of computers. Okay. Upload the file. Let's just wait. Make sure that you tick this. Save the image, and then we have it. Now, if you'd like to add more, just click on this one. Go to the further right side. Press enter twice, and then you can now add additional image to your page. So let's say I have this one here. upload. Okay, this is not necessary. Save the image. And then I have the second image here. Scroll down and take this one here, display in menu, no. So after that, what is the next? So the next thing to do is that, so this is correct. We'll go to level 2 here, which is history of computer knowledge check 3. So we'll have here, which is level 2, and then this one. And then let's save the file. This is, we have not yet created another page, so this page. Okay, let's just save it like this. Okay, so let's assume that here in our knowledge check 1, the student had selected the correct answer. So we'll go back here. Let's edit this page. Okay. So if we want to, if the student had selected false, which is the correct answer, it will now go to level 1, history of computer. Okay. Save the page. Okay. But if the student did not choose the correct answer, so we will create now our intervention. Okay. So an intervention is just like, let's say, another file or another content page wherein the students will be given extra work so that they could master the first topic that you have. So in this case, let's create here another content page. Right now, I'm on level 3. So I'll type here L3. This is now our intervention. Now, for intervention, you could use here video. So I have here a video that I have it on the net. Let's embed this one. So I have shared how we could embed to you in our previous video. Select here share. After that, click embed or select embed and just copy the HTML codes here. Close, and then you go back to your learning management system. We need to paste the HTML file. So to do that, click on this icon and then select the HTML code here. You can erase this and then simply paste our code. You could change the width to 640 by 360. Okay. Then click this one again so that you'll be able to see it, and then this one. Okay. So what comes next is that we'll have the second assessment here. So let's type here next and then save. Okay. Let's wait for the, okay, it's currently loading. Now, so we need to check this again. Now, if the student, this one, let's go to our first knowledge check. If the student is incorrect, it will proceed to our intervention. So let's edit this. To edit this, go to this line here, this gear, and then scroll down. Okay, so this is the correct answer. If it's incorrect, we will go to your intervention. Then save that. There. So this is now linked to this page here. So once the student had watched the video, the next thing to do is to, let's say, create another knowledge check whether the student had really watched the video or perform an activity based on the intervention that you have given to the student. So I'm now at level 4. Okay, so let's add now a question page. Okay, let's wait. So let's say a multiple choice question. And then this one here, I'm currently at level 4. This is my knowledge check 2. So let's write a question. It's a device. what do you call a device that allows you to perform, let's say, that allow you to store large amount of, let's say, data. So that's our question. So the correct answer here is, let's say, for example, okay, allow multiple answers. So let's say our answer is computer. Very good. Okay. Our second answer is, let's say, PC. Sorry. Try again. Okay. Since this is an incorrect answer, we can redirect this already to our intervention page. Okay. The score is 0. Let's say we have here, let's say, a laptop. Sorry. Try again. Again, we'll redirect this to our intervention page. And let's have here another one, mobile phone. Sorry again. And let's redirect this to our intervention page and then save the page. Okay, so let's check. So if the user, okay, let's check this one here. Okay, so in our intervention page, so once the user have had watched this, it will move already to our L4. So let's edit, click on the gear icon, and then let's wait it to load. Here, you need to jump to our, okay, first, okay, let's go to our knowledge check 2. Okay, save the page. Okay, then after that, in this section, once the user had selected the correct answer, we should move already to the history of computer. If not, then we go back again to this section, which is our intervention. So let's edit this. Scroll down. Okay. And if it's correct, this one, I will be redirecting it to L1, which is history of computer. We are now, if it's correct already, we go to this lesson. Okay. And then after that, save the page, and that's it. Okay. So once the user reaches this far, then the cycle again will continue. He or she will take the assessment again. If it's correct, we move to the next topic. If not, there's an intervention. After the intervention, then you're going to have here another assessment. And if it's correct, we move to the next lesson. After that, we go back. So it's a continuous cycle. But once we reaches the last part here, let's say we have here already on the fifth, how do you say, the fifth topic, and then we made an assessment. If it's correct, then we will automatically end the lesson here. Okay. For the purpose of demonstration, I'll be creating another content page. So let's assume that this is the last lesson end. Okay. So page content end. Okay. Display in menu no. So here we're going to have here end and then end of lesson. Okay. Save it. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to link, for the purpose of demonstration, this page to our end lesson. Okay. So just click the gear icon to edit the page. Okay, then instead of L2, let's click the next, but we will terminate the lesson already. Save the page, and that's it. Okay, so we were able to follow this particular flow or lesson flow. So to simulate that, go to preview. Okay, snow. So this is the first item. Click next. This is the definition of a computer. Click next. Assessment. Okay, so we should have the assessment here. So let's check it again. So after that, so we have here. Okay, we have not linked that one. So click on this. We should move to the assessment part, which is knowledge check 1. Okay, let's save the page. Okay, let's go back again. Preview. No. So here, so this is our level 0. Click next. Then we go to level 1. Next. Then we proceed to, this is level 2 already. Okay. Now we have here true or false. Let's say we go to the correct answer first. False. It should move to the history of computer. Okay. Very good. Continue. Then we go here to the history of computer. And then once we reach this, we should reach the end of our lesson. Click end. We are done with our lesson. You have reached the end of the lesson. Okay. So let's try to do the other way. So let's go to preview. This one here. Click next. Okay, this is the definition of computer. Click next. We're going to have the assessment. So let's say the student select true, but the correct answer here is false. Submit. Sorry, try again, continue. And then we will now have our intervention. We'll ask the student to watch this video or any activity as an intervention. Click next. So we're going to have here another, I'm sorry, supposed to be a single answer. So let's edit this one again. Where is that? This one. So this should not have multiple answer, but rather single answer. Okay. So let's save the page. Let's go and simulate again. Scroll up, preview. Okay, press no. So again, this is the level 0. Next. Okay, we are now at level 1. Next. Okay, the correct answer here is false, but let's say like true. Next. Okay, continue. It should redirect us to our intervention. Click next again. And then we have the second assessment. So if let's say we select this one, it should go back to our intervention. Submit. Okay, sorry, try again. Should go back to our intervention. Next. Okay, and then let's select the correct answer, computer. Submit. Very good, continue. Now we should move to the second topic, which is history of computer. Let's go. We are now at level 1 again. And then next. Okay, so we have ended the lesson. Okay. So if we go back to our dashboard or our page here, this is how we create a lesson. So we make the course more interactive for the students instead of just putting their, let's say, PowerPoints. We should engage our students to interact with the course or the lessons that we would have to give. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.